Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Flying Alaska with me, Herd 37. So we're up here in Nome, this is PAOM, and in this episode we're going to be going to Koyuk, as PAKK. It's a pretty short flight. I actually did this flight yesterday, and when we got to Koyuk, I was coming in and it looked like as I was getting close, I was like, man, there's trees all over that thing. And I was like, there can't be. And sure enough, there was trees all over. I actually tried to land from, went around and tried to land from the other side, but couldn't stop it quick enough. There was trees all over the runway, so I ended up having to abort it. So we're going to try it again. I got the scenery fixed. It had to do with openLC, Alaska. For some reason, that screwed it all up. I don't know. Anyway, start this flight. We're gonna load them up. 10 passengers. All right, got them all in. I'm gonna take it down to 40. Like I said, it's a really short flight. It's also a short runway. It's only like, I'm gonna say 3,000 feet, I think, something like that. So I don't want to be too heavy trying to get in there and land. It's also supposed to be gravel. Let's set the type to normal flight. And our destination, PAKK, Koyuk.
Destination set.
Alright, got everybody else loaded immediately. Make sure all of our passengers are there. They are. Alright. Put their seatbelts on. Do that here as well. Go on down here. Turn on the battery. I don't know why the flaps rise from where I hit my controls when I started the recording. To create noise to try and get them out of there. Nav. And the overhead beacon. Left generator. My fuel boost. Start it up. There she goes. Move that all the way up. Turn the starter off. Turn the fuel boost off as well. Right generator, right fuel boost. Start it up. There you go. Turn that all the way up. Turn that off and the fuel boost off as well. Make sure I turn the right. Got the right one. Ignition and engine start. Alright. Gotta come back down here. Avionics bus. There we go. We'll go ahead and turn on the anti-ice while we're down here. Pitot heat, stall, and turn this. Services the ice to auto. Alright, tune into the traffic. I believe it's 2. Almost positive it's 2 that we're going to take off on. So I'll hit that up and announce our taxi.
Alpha Oscar, Mike, traffic, uniform, Zulu 172 is taxiing to runway 2.
Close that. Close. There we go. Alright, parking brake comes off. We'll start our pushback. Let's go ahead and give us some lights on the instruments as well. There we go. Helps, plus it just looks cool. I really like that. So there's where we're going to take off right there. Trim is good. There's an Air Alaska taking off yesterday when I first tried this. It looked like a fairly big plane too. An Airbus or something. Stop the pushback. Let's turn on our taxi light. Alright. Taxi on over to the runway. And we'll get out of here. It's 113 miles. So like I said, a really short flight. The problem is the runway is very short as well, 3,000 or 4,000 feet. But we should be able to get it. I actually landed it quite perfect. I got it down right at the edge, and but there's trees too far down or too close down, and couldn't avoid those. Whoa! I hit the brakes when I turned. I shouldn't have done that. And there's also trees along the taxiway over to the place, so I was like, I couldn't really do anything about it. Alright, stop right here. I hit the park brake actually, so I can do this. We're taking off to the, it's, I guess, east, like a little more to the north.
Oscar, Mike, traffic, uniformed Cessna 172, taking off, runway 2, east departure.
Come down here, landing lights, anti-collision, and turn the prop GIS off before we take off. Parking brake is off, set the flaps, we'll do a rolling takeoff. Kind of surprised Nome doesn't have a tower. I would think it would. Alright. Alright, let's get going here. Nice, the throttle's not quite full power. Go dead right on me. 90 knots. Alright, let's go ahead and rotate. Pause brake. Gear coming up. Climbing nicely. Let's go ahead and retract the flaps. Take a quick look outside. I'm trying not to screw this up one-handed. I'm not looking. Generally not very good at that. She doesn't look too bad. I like it with the openLC a little bit better, but like I said, it created trees all over our runway. Does cause problems occasionally. That's the second time I've had it cause problems. Set the nav. That up. Now we'll arm that. Let's go up to, I think the flight plan has 7,500, even though it's a short flight. I can't remember. I think there was only mountains at the end. Put that at 7,500. It'll only climb at, what, 500 feet a minute, I think? When you do it that way, we can use vertical speed and make it climb faster, but we'll just leave it with that. So let's go ahead and we'll put on the prop GIS again. Not that it doesn't seem to make a huge difference. Any difference, really. And I was thinking about, I found some place when I was trying to find out what was causing the tree problem before I found out it was openLC. And I found a place that has, I didn't use it, but I found a place that has some, like, scenery for a lot of Alaskan airports, these small ones. In fact, I think it had Dawson City. It has a bunch of them. I have scenery, FTX or X scenery for some of them, but he has a lot of scenery, too. It's not custom-made scenery. He, like, fixes a lot of things. Like, on this one, I think that the runway is actually 1 and 19, but on here it's actually listed as 36 and 18. We changed that. There's supposed to be a GPS approach for runway 1 that isn't in here. And then he's got a lot of smaller airports where he just tidies it up and like puts in different buildings. They're stock buildings, but a little bit different than the ones that are in there sometimes. Actually kind of nice. I was thinking about maybe downloading some. They're really small. But I was thinking about doing that. I don't know. It would make a huge difference, is the only thing, because he uses stock buildings, I guess. I don't know. Well, notice on this flight, our at least last time, the speed indicator didn't ever freeze up. I still don't understand the root cause of that. Or I understand the root cause, but I don't know what to use to get it to stop. I don't know how to de-ice it or whatever. Turn the taxi light off. We're climbing a little slow. I'm gonna go ahead and move it up to 1,000. We're what, 106 away? 105 away? 37 minutes. Yeah, and when we get close, I'll use the heading. We'll go out to the right, fly over the water, and then come in for our approach. We're coming up on 2,500 feet. Pull back on the thrust just a little bit. Alright, well, there we go. Weather injection got some wind kicking us around. So, it'll be a really short flight. I'm going to go ahead and speed it up. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm slowing it down. We're about 23 miles out now. Switch over to heading. We're going to fly out to the right a little bit. I don't know. There are some mountains somewhere, but I think we're going to dodge them to the right. I've got it set to go to 5,500 feet. So let's hit up the airport. Track. We're going to land on runway 1. Well, it's going to be 36 in this case. Full stop landing, and we'll announce our position.
Alpha Alpha Kilo
our speed indicator has frozen up again. It didn't yesterday. I was kind of surprised that it did it now. Because we were actually landing towards nighttime yesterday, so I thought it would have been a lot colder. Although it is pretty daggone cold. I hate that because, like I said, this airport is, runway is pretty short. Smooth up to 2x. So that worries me because I want to come in slow, but now I don't know how slow I'm going to be coming in, so I have to come in a little bit. If anything, I got to come in faster than I really want to. Just to make sure I'm not going too slow and I'm not going to stall out. And that sucks. Alright, so we're over the mountains. So I'm going to let this go down a little bit further now. Go to 4,500. Yesterday I had a little bit of a problem actually finding the runway and trying to line up to it because it's so short. And also because there's trees all over it. So I saw the red light, but I couldn't figure out what was going on until I got close and realized, yeah, there's trees all over the runway. That's why I couldn't tell if it was the runway or not. Coming up on 5,000 feet, increase that a little bit. Turn on our taxi light. So you'll see it's right on the other edge of the water here. If I can still see it, yeah, there you go. That to 4,000. We could actually probably bring it down a little bit more as well. I made the mistake yesterday of getting down to like 2,000 feet or so. I think I took down to 2,200 and it ended up being too low. I had a real tough time seeing it. Seeing over here and actually being able to see the airport because we were too low. Make that mistake sometimes. It seems like we're either way too high or way too low. You can see the flashes right over there. Alright, coming up on 4,000. I'm going to go ahead, go full rich on the mixture. Start slowing her down a little bit. See that flash again. Alright, 3,500 feet. We'll let it go down to there. See, there it is. To really slow it down now. We're gonna have to get down a lot quicker too. Here's one reason I almost forgot. We were at double speed. There it is. We are too high. That's kind of what I figured. Go to vertical speed. Come down a little bit quicker. Actually, probably what's best is I'll go ahead and turn everything off, all the autopilot. Alright. The gear out. Get some drag going. Notch of flaps. So this is why I want my speed indicator. I really need to know what the hell's going on. Which I think we're too far over to the right. It kind of looks like it's going that way, maybe? Which kind of seems like the heading is messed up because it's supposed to be, maybe not. Increase the thrust a little bit. Yeah, you can see it's going off to the right. Go with thrust a little bit. afraid we're going to end up getting too low again. There we go. Now we're getting lined up better.
Papa Alpha Kilo traffic uniform Zulu 172 is on final runway 3.
Alright, we're gonna have to get our speed down. Not being able to see the runway, I ended up getting too high. Man. This is not how I wanted to come in. We are cockeyed as hell. It's gotta be windy or something. We are way too freaking high. I don't know how we got that high. We were on the glide slope there for a while. Now we're on it.
Ease up on that stick. Your descent rate is way too high.
Calm down, pal. And I don't know why these buildings are out on the frozen water. I cannot get lined up for nothing. Going around. Unreal. Brakes. Gear coming up. Unreal. It's coming in way too fast and we just could not get lined up. Good lord. Cape made a better attempt last night. Is there... Thought I had a... There we go. Oh, 23 knots. That's why. However, we were going into the wind, which should have helped a little bit. Wow. Could not get lined up at all. That wind was whipping me. Should have announced our go around.
Papa Alpha Kilo traffic uniform Zulu 172 going around.
Let's go back and try that from that. The wind, from that wind, you are supposed to be going into that that direction. So give it another shot. Surprised the passengers are okay. They're not freaking out at all. I'm probably more freaked out and shaken up than they are. I could not get lined up for nothing. I think we just barely grazed the edge of the runway as well. See if we could even see this airport. So this is right in front of us. Need to head out to the south. Thought it was going to be right below us. Fly straight out here. Well, that was dangerous. Dangerous approach. Too fast, everything. Everything was wrong with it. We came in diving towards the airport. That did not help. That killed me with our speed. I don't want to get too high either. I don't want to go too far out and around. See, with that speed indicator being frozen up, man, that really hurts. Like, that really, really hurts. Because I can't get to the speed I want to be at. There, nose down here. Afraid if we're even up near 3,000 feet, we're going to be way too high again. And go out towards that point there, and then we'll make it come on back around. Alright, we're about ready to come back in. Make sure this thing stopped. Alright. Alright. Put the nose down a little bit. Start turning. Get the nose too far down. Banking a little too hard too. I'm afraid we're going to be too high. Alright, we're actually too low. I'm alright with that though. Gear coming out. We're on the glide slope. First notch of flaps. See if I can get a little better lined up. No, we're a little too high, that's alright. It's weird, those buildings are like on frozen water, it seems like. Flaps. You can just feel how we're getting pushed around by the wind. It's a 22 knot wind in our face and to the side. Daggone you, Koyuk. Why did you have to be messed up the first time around? Concentrate on this. It's just a short runway, it's not real wide either. Alright, we're at full flaps now. So you can see we have to drift over now, we're cockeyed. Surprised she doesn't want to get down any quicker than that. Surprised we're not on the glide slope because I'm bringing it down pretty fast. If you look at our vertical speed, my main concern is stalling it out because I'm pretty back on the throttle as well. There we go. I was like, geez, how can we not be on the glide slope? As much as we're diving down. We couldn't have been that far off. A little low, that's alright, it'll help us put our speed down. A little more thrust. There we go. We actually got her stopped extremely quick. Oh hell, I forgot to get on the damn ATC. Gee, Christmas. I was too worried, too concerned about concentrating to even think about it. I'm surprised how we got her to stop so quick. Revoke my license for not using ATC. My bad. Jeez. I'm just not used to using it. Alright. I gotta admit, I was worried about that. Especially on the second come around. That went way better than the first one. I knew what to expect as well. I think one of the biggest problems on our first one, you see, it actually makes us bounce because of the gravel. Even though the texture looks just horrible. The first time too, our speed was way too high, and we were diving down towards the runway. Bouncing along the gravel. It's kind of nice that it actually does make you bounce like that. It's a little more realistic. Landing lights off. Anti-collision off.
Papa Alpha Kilo traffic uniform 172 is clear of the runway.
Yeah, landing lights and anti-collision lights. Alright. Oh jeez. Glad we got her down in one piece. Yeah, like I say, I'm really surprised how slow she got. I don't know if that is because it's also gravel or what. I mean, I was really worried that we were going to be towards the end of the runway, but we stopped really quick. Tell you, well, we'll go over here. There's no really... I was just gonna say we'll park right here near the runway, but I guess we should go over towards the building since we got passengers and stuff, I guess. I don't think there's any right or wrong around here. All right. It looks a lot different without any trees on the runway, I gotta tell you that. Stop here. Duff that yoke. Park and brake. Cut the fuel. Avionics bus. Prop the ice. All that off. Taxi light, nav, overhead beacon. Go ahead and open up the door. Generators and battery. I believe everything is off. Hey, the panels are all off like they're supposed to be. Oh, they're getting out. Yeah, I don't know why the buildings are in the water. I don't know why having openLC Alaska Canada, why it put trees on the runway, because I did the FTX elevation correction and that didn't correct it at all. It was the openLC. I've had that problem not too long ago in another flight. FS passengers. In another airport. It was Homer. That was a problem at. Alright, let's end this flight. Alright, 112 nautical miles. Time airborne, basically 50 minutes. Flight time, 56 minutes. Time on the ground, 9 minutes. Average speed, 135 knots. Climb time, 8:44. Cruise time, 21:55. Average cruise speed was 186 knots. Visit time, 19 minutes, 18 seconds. Landing speed, 0 because of the speed indicator. Landing touchdown, coming down at 204.62 feet a minute. Says nice. Landing pitch, 4.1 degrees. Landing weight, 9,041 pounds. Used 362 pounds of fuel. 90 pounds on the climb, 176 on the cruise, using 484 an hour. Wow, that seems kind of high. Set fuel use 95. 100% are relieved to land safely in extreme weather. But I thought they said that we were 100% anyway. I didn't see them ever get worried. Ticket income $541. Cargo $340. Use 174 in the fuel. 8 for the airport taxes and 38 for insurance, giving us $661. Times 50 is $33,050 for the flight. Perfect. They thought we should be 100%. So that's an increase of 2.41%. That's a lot. To 75.93%. Perfect flight, 330 points. Nice landing, 50. Perfect flight, no problems. Very satisfied passengers, 150. You landed at the correct airport, 30. In extreme weather conditions during the approach, with a safe landing, satisfied passenger plus 100. Nice. And I looked at this before the flight to show you this. Company manager. Only have 649 grand, although we could sell this plane and we'd basically have 3 million. So maybe a little longer flights. I knew this was going to be short, but I kind of wanted to go here. Here into Koyuk. I think we just got here in time. Sun's going down, even though it's really early in the day. It's only couldn't be past 12, much past 12. But we'll do a little longer flights, get a little more money. I thought we would have more money than that, to be quite honest, because they fly different planes, so I want to fly different planes as well. We could get the Caravan. They fly the Grand Caravan, I do believe, although I fly that so much already, but we could look at that. They fly the B1900D, which will be a really cool plane, although that's going to be really expensive. I think that's at least that's actually probably going to be well over $4 million, so we won't have enough money. But eventually they got the Dash 8, so we could fly that whenever we get. That's going to be a lot of money. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode, everybody. I hope you all did enjoy it, and I'll catch you guys on the next flight.